is slowing us down.
Do not say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland. Your name?
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Good. Rex. You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand?
Welcome to the inaugural episode of Final Fantasy Lore. This will be a Let's Play video with a little bit of a twist. In this video series I hope to be going over the etymology, mythical origins and other such origins of many of the creatures, weapons and items in this game as I can. Basically I have always enjoyed mythology and the Final Fantasy games are abundant with borrowings from Earth mythology along with other things, particularly Dungeons and Dragons. There are quite a few creatures and such from that. And I've always wondered, in this game here, there are quite a few weapons in that, such as Francisci, Etruscans, etc. And I've always wondered what exactly those weapons are. So in this series I hope to explain what the terms such as Francisca are and where creatures such as the Dremelech come from. Then if you love those mythology things, this series is for you. We start with the raid on Nabudis. This is will be 2 years prior to the actual events of the game, and this is the tutorial.
Keep your wits about you and you'll make it. We move.
This will be the tutorial section, so we'll be just skipping through a lot of somewhat unneeded dialogue. So now I move the camera. There may be quite a bit of unneeded camera movement a bit. The XY settings on this are opposite to what I'm used to, and there is unfortunately no way to invert them. I'll just have to get used to them. Alright, so we start the game by controlling Rex, a poor unfortunate recruit in the Damascan army who has, defending in his homeland, stormed Nabudis. In the introduction video to the game, which I skipped because it is over 10 minutes long, and although a very beautiful cutscene, just a little bit long for this video, we see that the Nabudis has been holding out against the Arcadian forces. They were surviving okay. As long as they had their paling up, they could have held out. Unfortunately, several of the mages holding up the paling were killed and the paling fell. Commander Bash, who is currently instructing Rex on the basics of moving through the game, was at the time fighting alongside the young prince, newlywed to the princess of Damasca, and who was defending his own homeland. The prince was unfortunately shot with an arrow, and Bash was unable to save him. And now we have our very first battle. Final Fantasy XII was the first Final Fantasy game to do away with a separate battle screen for fights and world map. Which, no, technically it was not. The Final Fantasy XI, as an MMO, had a separate, did not have the separate battle screen for fights. But this was the first non-MMO, and to date the only non-MMO main Final Fantasy to not have a separate battle and world map screen. Aha. And now we shall be fighting the Air Cutter Remora. And here is our first bit of trivia. The Remora, if you are unaware, are genus, well, a family of fish that are known for their sucker-like dorsal fin that's on their back, and as such, they're obviously known as suckerfish. They're a relatively primitive type of fish, and that's about the main information about them. There's not much more to say of them. What is to note is that it is possible to die on this boss. Alright, time to run. And I have died on it, because the AI were slightly slow to heal me, and the air cutter got in 2 critical hits. It's a tutorial boss, you shouldn't be able to die, but you can. You don't even have to hit your own self. So that was why I backed up there. Because I'd rather not die again on the tutorial boss. Not much fun, that. So here we see Captain Barsh preparing his fulminating darkness on the Remora. Nice one-hit KO. Now the call signs for the ships, the Antlion and the Tonberry, both of those are recurring enemies in the Final Fantasy games. The Tonberry first crops up in FF5, although back then it was called the Dingleberry. It had a bit of a name change because Dingleberry's... Hey, I picked up some loot. Dingleberry is the scrags that hang on a sheep's butt. So, not so much. It's also a term for an idiot, which scrags or dags also means that. So hence it became the Tonberry. And the Antlion, again, is recurring enemy. Antlions are the larvae of a lacewing fly that are known for burying themselves in the sand and creating sand traps for ants. And as a kid I remember playing with the antlions at school, like trying to lure them out of their little sand traps.
What if Captain Oculus has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense. Voslus laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now. Men like him don't die in places like this. We must make haste to reach the king. We will take him to safety.
Is His Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty?
Wait. Quickly, Rex.
Let's follow the AI and hope they're going the right direction. Apparently so. And now it is time to run. No EXP gained from these guys, so why bother fighting them? And they respawn infinitely, so eh. Might be able to farm potions off them, but seeing as I won't be able to keep any of the inventory, not a point. Also, farming potions, boring. The MP Safe Crystal tutorials. Every single Final Fantasy game, except the first and second one, technically. Hey, didn't mean to save twice. That has had crystals in them, either as just a random item or as a plot device, such as in FF9, FF5 in particular. In the first game, FF1, they had darkened orbs.
Don't let them escape.
Sir, we have little time. You must go to the king. I'll handle these.
Fight well.
Now, from memory, I can't think of any crystals in Final Fantasy II. Oh, no. No, actually, tell a lie. The darkened orbs are from Final Fantasy II. I remember that. But yes, crystals, they're a mainstay of Final Fantasy. And we'll just take care of this dude. Ooh. Nice helpful mini-map. Otherwise I would be totally lost in this place. Seeing as the only other time I see it, it's in a little bit of a different state. And I still completely get lost in it every time. So Rex's name. Rex comes from the Latin Rex Regis, for king. And we're about to see why he might be named after the word for king. That guy with the armor. The Damascan forces do have a interesting armor there. I don't know if it's because they're not rendering the kilts or something. And the shadows are somewhat interesting as well there. And here we have the King of Dalmasca, stabbed through the heart. And now Rex is stabbed through the heart as well.
Why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Dalmasca to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Captain, See the insurgent.
In come the Arcadian forces. Oh, hey, the floor disappeared.
Well, so much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect. But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the captain away. Off you go.
I always really enjoyed the voice acting from Final Fantasy XII. There was a lot of variety in the accents and it was quite different. It didn't have the standard American anime voice dubbing accents. If anyone watches a lot of anime that's dubbed, you'd probably know what that is.
Peace left by the wayside.
To skip that, I am sorry. It's just rather boring story exposition that takes a fair bit of time to get through. But yeah, I believe for the FF12 here, they hired a lot of theatre and Shakespearean actors, which works well with the archaic or old-fashioned dialogue that a lot of the people speak in the world of FF12. Now we've skipped forward 2 years and we have Rex's little brother, Vaan, who's about to do a little bit of rat hunting.
Hurry it up or they'll find us.
I know. Just a little more. You keep an eye out for me up there, Kites. 1, 2, 3 more. Right. Time to clean house.
And here we have the dire rats. Dire rats are actually from D&D. D&D has a whole bunch of dire creatures, including apparently a dire rhinoceros. But dire on its own just means severe, dire, serious. Hey, nice chain. Now to find the last little ratkins. There you are. And there we just clean house. One more. That's it.
Wow, Vaughn, you got him all yourself? Guess I know who to call when something big comes along.
Hey, it's good practice for the desert. I'm ready for anything now. That's enough for today. You should get back to Miguel's place, Kites. Aren't you running errands for him?
Oops, totally forgot. You should come, Vaughn. He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do, too.
I've got other, work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
Yes, totally work. Load. Good. For a moment there I had worried that it might have frozen on me. It shouldn't do that. Maybe. But you see, just the incredible variety of character designs and the details of just mundane NPC outfits. And then you see a nice shot of Vaughn's abs, which are no... Those things are terrifying.
Sod be, we don't want trouble today. Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Watch where you're going, Charles. Oh, my patch! It's gone! The boy! Get out the way!
Bit late, mates. Though come to think of it, those Arcadian soldiers, they must be quite sweltering in all that get-up. Thing is, everyone else is in short sleeves or mostly bare chests, and such. So it's like pretty hot for those guys.
What?
Nice pan-up shot, as usual.
Hey, that's mine.
What do you mean, yours? You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Pinello. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything
Oh,
about
the
taking it back
Vaughn's
from me.
abs.
This is for that bread you took
They...
today. Just because I helped
You can
out
tell that they
with
didn't
that
care much about his
doesn't mean that
character
you get to
design.
eat for free
Oh,
too, you know.
the texturing of his model there.
I know that. You think
As
I let
Vaughn is said to
you
be... Ace wasn't initially going to be the main character. The main character was initially going to be Bash. And Vaughn was added in to appeal to the teenage female demographic. Though I'm not entirely sure how appealing that is.
I'll fly an airship of my own. I'll be a sky pirate, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguello had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
That, go down to Miguello. Alright. We'll just head down to see what Miguello is, and I believe that that might just be a wrap-up for the episode. It's been an interesting first episode for me. This is the first time I've really been recording much, so I hope I don't sound too nervous and such. I think I've done okay though. And we have come with the old bunga.
I was waiting.
Pinello said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be arriving by courier in the morning. Perhaps he ran into some trouble out in the desert. Now I've no foodstuffs to prepare for the banquet tonight.
So you want me to find this courier? Hey, no problem.
No problem. The desert teams are in trouble. I'd be sending you to early grave, my boy. No, I've arranged for some replacement goods from Tomage over at the Sand Sea.
So you want me to go to the tavern to pick him up?
Actually, I asked Kites to do that. Wouldn't you know he's gone missing on me, too. I can't leave my shaman knife Pinello on another chore at the moment, you see. What I want you to do is run over to the Sand Sea and fetch Kites back. What do you say?
Sounds wild.
It's easy work, and you'll thank me for it someday.
Alright, that'll be a wrap. So next episode I'll meet you guys at the Sand Sea and we'll see what Tomage has to offer for us. Alright, take care. See yas.